Thankfully, you could see me. For a hot second there, the screen froze, but without my image. So I felt like maybe I was some sort of vampire, which would explain a lot of things. But welcome to the live stream, as I've mentioned before, on the sinking ship that is this channel. Or maybe the ship has already sunk, as I mentioned yesterday, disgustingly so, with a much-deserved car crash. But again, this is the stream that I'm attempting to do every single day this month, which might not just happen, just might not happen, just because. What's the point, right? Might as well just focus on some much-needed Virgin Magic tutorials and provide a service that helps no one. I hope you know magic doesn't help anyone. I was at a party yesterday, and I had to begrudgingly tell somebody what it is that I do for a living. And it's always well, you know, I do magic tricks, right? Because they were curious as to the origin of my virgin tattoo. And I would imagine it's a very easy thing to be curious about, right? You have a tattoo that says virgin. You can't just be so proud of the fact that you're a virgin that you get it tattooed on your body. There has to be a reason. And I had to explain the reason and mention, oh, it's because, you see, what I do is I do magic tricks, and I'm always calling magicians, and because they don't know what it looks like, and it went to that, which is always a fun thing to explain. Usually I like to say video editor. What is it that you do? Oh, I edit videos. That's it. I just edit videos. People send me videos. Oh, what type of videos do you edit? The different videos, right? People like doing different things. Okay, like what? Like magic tricks. I edit magic trick videos. That's my profession. That's what I do. Are you happy? Are you happy now, Susan? Welcome to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. Thankfully, that's where I like to reside. Not necessarily in the bottom of the ocean, because it's not like I know how to swim, right? It's not like I know how to get out of there, right? But I like the mud. I like living in the mud, so that's why I prefer to thrive in the mud that is this channel. But I don't know what I want to go through today. I unfortunately had some endeavors yesterday, a little bit of a get-together, and I wasn't expecting to be the daddy, the chauffeur, because I don't drive. I'm not a driver. I don't drive vehicles. I ride a motorcycle. So anytime I get behind a wheel, it's because the available parties are belligerent and unable to partake in any sort of driving activity. Whereas when I'm the one that's left, typically it's the last available option, because my driving skills tend to be notoriously bad, because I don't drive a car. I ride a motorcycle, so it's not like you could expect me to be a tremendous driver when I only ride a motorcycle. But I had to partake in the unfortunate peril that is driving a car at 2 o'clock in the morning, because alas, the person whose car it belonged to could not. That's always a fun bit, right? Especially when it comes to avoiding cops and trying not to partake. It's not like I was drunk. I wasn't buzzed. I had maybe a beer, but I was expecting to be the one in the party that was drunk. Instead, I ended up being the babysitter, alas. Sav says, yes, Piggy, all hail the demons. Well, demons would be cooler than what we are. So if you try to compare, I guess that's what Zendrius was doing back in his channel. If you're familiar with Zendrius, that his opinion was that magicians employ the use of the jinn, right? So we have Dynamo. No, it's not that he has a crew of people that work with him and help him come up with tricks. By the way, a brilliant group of people. It's not like he has that. It's that he's incurring the power of demons to help him with his tricks. Come on, yeah. Let's think of the simple solution. Occam's razor here. Typically, I would imagine it's probably he has a group of people that help him do the tricks, rather than having some sort of demonic entity. And that would be way too cool for what it's being used for. Imagine you have access to a demon, right? Imagine you have some sort of access to some otherworldly creature, and you choose to use it to do card tricks, or to make it look like you're floating on the side of a bus. Come on, be better.
Be better.
I have to remember which one it was. I forgot what 6 is. Oh, car crash. Okay, and I haven't done a car crash yet, so I don't deserve it. But stupid thought that I've had arguments back and forth. I've mentioned it before. I've been cursed. I've had a hex on me because of a conversation I had with somebody that had I believe, Naruto little avatar, right? A little Naruto profile picture. Could you imagine the audacity that you have to have as an individual to put a hex on me when your avatar is a fucking anime character? Come on. What are you trying to do here? As a matter of fact, here's a little demonic entity, right? I saw this, and I've had this stuck in my head pretty much for the better part of a week. So hopefully showing this to you allows you to have the same exact pleasure of a little menace here, a little demon. Let me see if I could smoothly transition. Seems to be the trend nowadays, right? Not smooth transitions, but let's see.
Oh, bro. What's the hell?
I want to kill my mom.
What the
I want to kill my dad. I want to kill my grandma.
I've been saying that nonstop to myself and laughing at the thought of a young, a little boy saying he wants to kill his mom, dad, and grandma. I've been saying that nonstop, along with another one. I've been saying, you have cancer, Andy. You have cancer. I think I might be a menace to society. I might deserve all the bad things that happen to fall on my lap. Top Notch here says, una palabra no dice nada, y al mismo tiempo dice todo. Look at that, dropping some hard works in Spanish. My grandmother would often tell me, hey, remember, cuando abajo se calienta, arriba no piensa, which means when it heats up down there, you're not going to be thinking, right? All the blood's in your cock piece. So good bit of advice, but fortunately, she's dead. So who really won that? Did that advice really take you far, Grandma? Not really. It took you to telling me that and then perishing. Now says Lamau. Thank you for that. I appreciate a good Lamau, right? I always appreciate one. I think I thrive exclusively on humor and at least the perception that I'm funny. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I would be here. I've mentioned it many times before. I remember talking, as a matter of fact, with JT about the mention of humor being more important than anything else. If an individual says, hey, this guy from work is funny, those are fighting words. You're going to end up dead. Whereas if you tell me that you just got a train ran on you and, you don't know who's the father, we could work through that. And probably be better off after that. But if you tell me somebody else is funnier, that's it. Both of us are dying violently. Why do you stream like you're popular when you stream to like 10 people, says Top Notch? Well, I don't know, right? That's the battle here, but yeah, I enjoy it. As I've mentioned before. I feel like it's a form of therapy. I get to bitch and moan about things, especially when it comes to dumb magicians, which I love bitching and moaning about. So why not do it instead of to myself in a mirror, to myself in a camera, right? I think that's the better alternative here. It doesn't take much time, just an hour of a day, which if you think of the equivalent in therapy, therapy is not cheap. I have a friend who was shopping around for therapy. It's like $140 a session just to sit and talk to someone for, no thank you. I'd rather just rant and rave to the dismay of the potential FBI and to also whoever is assigned to me. Of which, by the way, very sorry for all those pictures. I think I mentioned I saw a dick pic that I took years ago on my phone the other day. Not very flattering, I gotta say. Not very flattering angle. Since then, I've learned different compositional tricks, different ways to make things seem better, right? Focal length is a big thing. But then I don't know what I was doing. I just here, snap, right? Very unassuming penis pic I have there. And I'm glad I haven't taken one since. Michael says, I wish you would stop using that clip. I hate those bitches. Yeah, I would say, I don't know how Oprah has gotten to where she is, because she's essentially a black female Jerry Springer. So maybe that's how she got it. Well, Jerry Springer is pretty rich, but I don't know how she's gotten the reputation that she has. It's like, oh, Oprah, she's done so much, and she's really more like a shock jock. She's like a Howard Stern. With a vagina. You've been shadow banned. You could literally post a Mr. Beast new video and only get 10,000 views. A new channel would do better. I guess, right? I think that's the case. I've realized that when I get a number of people telling me, hey man, guess what I click on? I click on that little notification bell icon. I click on the other little button. I click on all the other little things. Get an email notification. I want that. And they don't get anything. They don't get anything. So I'm like, all right, good to know. Good to know that it doesn't matter. Doing the fucking marathon that is pressing all the stupid buttons. You would think there'll be a simple solution, right? You get the notification if you press the button. Why would you not get a notification unless maybe there's some other thing at play? And also, this style of content is not really. I mean, I'm a fan of it, but I'm biased because it's me. So maybe it could just be, maybe people don't think that this is a exciting form of content, which I agree. Right now, I've walked maybe let me see how much I've walked today. I would say maybe 8 miles, conservatively. Which is not usually. I like to do about 12 on Sundays. I also have a little bit of a hangover. I didn't drink much, but I didn't partake in a lot of water, so the hangover just snuck up on my little bum hole. Hane says, remind me of an old video of a young boy with a knife threatening his much older cousin for eating his pizza. Could you imagine that people have been killed for less? We deserve all the bad things. It's another thing I was talking about somewhat in that get-together yesterday. And we deserve things. We deserve all the bad things. We're not good. We value things that are valueless, right? We steal. We murder each other. We don't think of the greater good. We don't care. We don't care. Until it happens to us, we don't give a shit. So we deserve all the bad things that we get. Hopefully to at least teach us a modicum of a lesson, just a small lesson. But even then, we're probably still not going to retain it and learn. And we're going to keep doing the things that we perpetuate in this existence as a species, as a whole, until we perish. Right? Very morbid start to this particular episode. My goodness. Jesus. I think it might be a combination of the walk/hangover and only ingesting a wrap from Wawa. See this one. So Andy, one is Meat Canyon. Yes. Meat Canyon video. I've realized anytime I show a fucking video, immediately the whole stream gets claimed, which doesn't matter, but it's obnoxious. You get like 14 notifications that says, hey, this video, copyright. It's not a strike. It's a claim, but you still get a bunch of dumb notifications that I want to avoid. You know who doesn't care? China. You're right. I often recall that compilation of, let me see if I could find it here, as a matter of fact, of Trump saying China. That's another thing that gets stuck in my head. It might be the latent autism. Might be the autism that has these things stuck in my head, and I tend to repeat them with no context whatsoever to the annoyance of the people around me. Let's see. Trump saying China. I also hate looking up anything remotely Trump, because it's very hard to find the funny stuff. It's always, the top is always like, look at this, Huffington Post here. So let's see if I could find this comp here. But this right here is one of the things stuck in my head for a good period of time. I hope that I don't get a fucking ad for Huffington Post. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Right, I hope that they actually cut this together well.
China. You go over to China.
Wild. I love that, because it's a video with the intent of like, look at this grossness. And then I look at it and I laugh. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. Your streams are basically interactive stand-up with magic mixed in. I love it. Very, I would say, stretched use of the word stand-up, right? Considering I'm sitting on a box of, like a cigar box. And then on top of that, also the jokes. Could you imagine a set looking like this? Maybe after a successful career of stand-up, like what Chappelle's doing, where his stand-up sets essentially now is just him bitching and ranting on things. But that's only after you've made it. You can't do that at the, not even F level. I'm not even taking the test. I can't get graded because I'm not even taking the test. So I can't even give myself an F score. So that's where I'm at. Until I get to that point. He streams like an alpha, not caring, says Hane. I guess, although unfortunately my inclusion in the Magic community precludes me from any title of alpha, which is, by the way, a very gay thing to say. Like, if you call yourself an alpha, like, unless you're doing it with the intent of poking fun at the concept. I do recall that documentary I used to watch on occasion of the Shy Boys or Shy Guys or whatever it was. I remember watching it on a stream with Daniel, and it was about these dudes that are incels and they're looking for women, and unfortunately they keep getting rejected, and they don't understand why they keep getting rejected, even though they look like fucking fish out of water, essentially. Just no care about anything whatsoever. And they were talking about the concept of the alpha and the omega, right? That the top whatever men get, it's the whole incel belief that a certain percentage, a small percentage of men get most of the women, and then the scraps are given to the peons that are just looking for a morsel of pussy. It's a funny documentary to watch, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest to watch it. Shy Guys, I believe. A couple people did commentary on it. It's always a great reminder that you're not doing so bad. You're not doing so terribly. I often, every time I think, oh man, I'm in a rut. My goodness, what am I going to do? And then you subsequently remind yourself, hey man, you're good. You're fine. Everything's good. Look at this particular individual. Look at them. You're better than them. And it makes me feel better. Isn't that great? Another human characteristic that we possess, as to the lack of caring of others, to push ourselves up. And Lord knows I definitely need that, being a high-challenged individual. OnlyFans? I do OnlyFans would be a great answer, says Kyle. That's another gross thing. My goodness. Jesus. Just the Building 7 collapse of what is valuable, especially when it comes to OnlyFans. Then again, I make a lot, or a good portion of my bit here is the PigCake Magic Academy, where essentially I'm teaching magic tricks, right? So really, it's not really that important in the scope of things. Some people find it valuable. Of course, I find it valuable because it's what I've chosen as my profession. But I think even on the spectrum of value, right? Even on the spectrum of value, magic tricks, I would say, with this being 0, let's say this is 0, this being the positive side, this being the negative side. Magic value is about here, right? But titty pics that you have to pay for, as if you just can't find pictures of tits online, is maybe about 14 miles that way on the spectrum. What? And to think that you're getting to know them by paying for them, and they're going out essentially using your money, your cum money. They're going out with their boyfriends to trips because you paid for her pictures of titties. I don't understand the logic there. But alas, there are certain groups of individuals that are very, very desperate, and they want anything. They want a crumb. Please give me a crumb. Give me a small morsel. Just a little tip. That's all I want. The little tip of anything remotely close to attention from a member of the opposite sex. It's kind of gross, to be honest. Let me see here. It's like calling yourself badass or humble. You can't call yourself that. It comes out fake and insecure. I'm trying to find that Instagram. I've mentioned it before. It's one of my favorite magic accounts just because this guy is like a 40-year-old dude, like one of these like dudes that just discovered working out, but at like 45. And he's a magician, and he refers to himself like, yo, I'm a badass magician. Come at me if you think that. It's like he has some confrontational comments from what I've seen, and I haven't been able to find his account. Kyle says, it's like being gay for Daniel Madison. Okay, I can't help myself. I feel a little bit of projection there, maybe. I can't believe this is where we're at, right? Yeah. Kind of an odd thing. But then again, you could argue back in the 80s, they had peep shows in New York, right? That was a very popular thing. You'd have these little windows that you would pay quarters for, and the windows would rise, and you would see a shoddy, as they say, a girl of the night, a puta, as the Spanish would say, just shaking her ass, and you would have to keep paying quarters for the window to stay up. A very smart system, right? Because you're going to have all these perverts just keep dropping quarters in there. And eventually you have a system that, oh, hey, guess what? Man, we really struggled this month. We didn't make a lot of money. Because it's a cash income. My goodness, it's like a fucking laundry. The best thing to have. We really had a bad quarter. We really had a terrible quarter. Made no profit. Come and get it. Come and find it. Reminds me of the crypto bros that would always mention as to coming up with the excuse that they lost their crypto in a boat fire. Oh, where is it? I lost it in a boat fire. Come and get it. They'll find it. They'll find it. That's the worst part. Unfortunately, they've come up with the ability to get it due to the convenience that you might have buying crypto on like Coinbase or whatever the fuck. Oh, you could get it on your phone. It's very easy to get. Guess what? They could give that up if they just, not even if they knock on your door, the proverbial door, the government knocks on the proverbial door. If they start just approaching a door, they'll just go, no, here, take it, please. Get away from us. So, tremendous stuff. But even then, that was still in person, and it's the act where here now you're paying for a person that essentially, for the most part, these pictures on OnlyFans they're not what you think. They're not like spread eagle pictures of this individual. They're pictures you would see on Instagram. Bikinis, right? Modeling, maybe a little bit of boudoir. I think if that's the right way to say it. Just typical, a little bit on the edge of these pictures, and these guys are just paying, thinking you have a relationship with this female, this individual, and all you're doing is you're being a pay pig. You are being a pay pig. So I'm not a fan. I really hope that's not the norm. Again, if there's a demand, I get it. The marketplace of ideas, or the free market, I guess. But come on, we should be better as a society.
Be better. Be better. Be better.
Sorry, Michael. Had to drop that again. Let's see this video.
Be better. Be better.
I believe they did that during Father's Day, and they were complaining about their husbands playing golf. Like they're like, oh yeah, husbands, instead of playing golf, how about you attend to your family? Be better. It's like, really, Oprah? Let's get into the laundry list of things that Oprah has gotten involved with, that she's touched, that have just completely turned to shit. Obviously a billionaire, very successful. But the amount of skeletons that you have to climb in order to get to that ladder is just, ugh. Hane says, didn't that Andrew guy get a lot of girls and make them do OnlyFans stuff or that nature? I think you're thinking of Dan Bilzerian or Bilzerian, who's pretty much the done that whole bit, the alpha life, right? But really he's paying off all these chicks. Weird concept. There's also, it exists on both sides, right? I know if you're referring to Andrew Tate, Top G, unfortunately, I have to defend the man because you have to at least acknowledge when there is a true alpha, such as Andrew Tate. Best quote, I don't know why girls are always complaining. They got half the money and all the pussy. That seems like something Patrice O'Neal would say. R.I.P., the original, another original. Soft A, right? A real soft A, if you know what I mean. And unfortunately, you could see that man wasn't going to last long. Patrice O'Neal was a stand-up comedian. I would say pretty big, pretty fat. Unfortunately, that tends not to be the ones that last the longest, which then people make fun of me for my height. I want to see you at 70, okay? I want to see you with your 6'4" at 70, okay? I don't see a lot of tall old people. I see a lot of short old people. They tend to last longer. So make fun of me now, but then when I'm laughing at you because they have to find a casket, extra large casket for you at 50, maybe you should have considered being nicer to well, you're dead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Imagine trading currency for a sequence of pixels instead of substances to sustain your body. True, right? Money is very limited, right? It's very limited. It's few and far between. I feel like even if you're somebody that has a lot of it, right, it gets to the point where it's like, well, now it's like that famous story of Pablo Escobar, where he was sitting in a house with millions of dollars within the walls, and it's unspendable. It's paper. It's shit. It's essentially stuff that he used, I believe, to keep him warm. But anyone remember Jack Murphy? Yeah, Jack Murphy was one of those other ones, right? That he was a very strong conservative figure, one of those alpha dudes. He does those podcasts where he's like, dude, stop being a pussy. Stop being a pussy. And then all these videos, from my understanding, came out of him with his wife and another guy. And there was some playing back and forth between him. I'm sorry, by the way, I'm adjusting my legs here like some sort of thought. But I just came from a walk and I'm very, my legs are kind of fucked. Yeah, I do recall that. And there was some weird activity there while he was claiming to be this macho man. And in fact, just partaking in the upside down pineapple, but the wrong way. The wrong way. I don't know if I've mentioned, I have a swinger story, but I don't think it's worth to mention here on a stream permanently on the internet, right? For everyone to gawk at. But I do have a somewhat interesting swinger story. I keep mentioning to Daniel that he lives in a swinger commune, but he doesn't believe me. Jack was a self-portrayed Giga Chad that turned out to sit on a dildo for money. For money, that's the other part. Ugh. God, if you're a couple, maybe just fuck it. Fuck it. At this point, everybody's depraved. Just do it. Just record yourself fucking, seeing if you build up a community of people that enjoy watching you fucking, and then turn it into a side hustle, potentially a main hustle. At this point, I think we've reached the peak of pure depravity as a society. Well, that's okay. That's fine. We just keep doing that. Speaking of that, here's a blog that I fucking read today. I was going to make a whole video. This is magic related, unfortunately. I was going to make a video on this, but I was beat to it by a blog post, right? So I was going to make a whole video on why the Omni deck is shit, right? It's a terrible trick. I believe the people that made it, Jerry Andrus, had it as an observation experiment, right? So he would do it as an experiment in assumptions, if I do recall correctly. But everybody does it. Every single magician that works, that does table hopping, that does all this stuff. I was going to make a video as to how it's a terrible trick and how essentially the only value in the Omni deck is not the fact that the deck turns clear, is that it's a surprise. That's the only reason you're getting a reaction with it. Of course, an Omni deck, I don't know if I have mine. Here's the hypocrisy, right? I'm here talking shit about this deck, and I have one that I've had for years, but it's a clear block. You put a card on top of it and it looks like a deck, right? And then how magicians typically use it is you put it in somebody's hand, they put their other hand on it, you remove the card, and you go, oh, hold on to the deck, and then they remove the hand, and of course it's revealed to be a clear block. Let me actually see if I could find a video. But every single magician that does any sort of weddings or table hopping, they do it. I think it's terrible, and I think it's overhyped just because of the fact, Omni deck, that it's not the deck. It's not the trick. People really sell it to be this amazing thing, but really it's the surprise. And imagine if, so they get surprised. They go, oh, crazy. Whoa, it's a clear glass block. The deck turned into a block, guys. Wait, let me see the card. Let me put it on top of the deck. Oh, this kind of looks like a deck. Oh, I know how you did that. That's it. Done. You got fucked. So let's see. I think there's a video here of a guy doing it. Let me see if I could smoothly transition to show you what I'm talking about here. Again, I apologize for my demeanor. It's a little bit of a combination of tiredness, of hangovers. Beer really sucks and saps the energy out of you. Especially, I've been partaking in the Budweiser as of late. I've been really pushing Budweiser. I'm a huge fan. And you're drinking pasta, right? You're drinking pasta essentially, and then you get some whiskey. Whoa, terrible combination. But especially for my short demeanor. So let's see if this guy actually does it. I believe that's fuck. What's his name?
Face of the card. Your name right on the.
I met him. I'm trying to remember what his name is. He's like a tremendous magician performing this. Canadian. I forgot his name. Fuck. The virginity doesn't run deep today, I feel.
Card. So go ahead, right, nice and big, right on there. Judith, I'm gonna take the card. I'm gonna place the card back into the deck. Once it's in the deck, I can snap my fingers and make it jump to the top. You know that. That's easy. So I'm gonna do it the hard way. I'll leave it right here. Take your
8.6, by the way. 8.6, I would say. Fan. I like it. Big glasses. Asian. My type.
hand and hold it out just like this. Place your other hand on top, trapping the cards in between. That's good. And then I'll take your card and rub it lightly on your hand.
Yeah.
And your card will disappear.
Okay, where?
Where'd it go? It's back inside. Look, I'll reach in between your hands. I'll remove one card from the deck. And this one just happens to be yours. Look, your signature right on it. Isn't that wild?
That is crazy.
Now I'm going to make the rest of the cards disappear.
How?
Are you ready?
Yes.
They're gone. Open your hand and take a look. Go ahead. Look.
No! Where's the deck?
I have no idea.
Guys, this is not a camera trick, guys.
Okay. I think it's a shit trick. I know, right? Unfortunately, I was beat to it by David of my favorite magic blog. He had a whole post here talking about the trick, why it's shit, good reasons why, some comparisons. Great little read here. If you want to dig deep into the virginity, I keep shilling this particular blog even after Reddit on r/magic pretty much touted the retardation of the blog, which is wrong. It's objectively great, all right? Let me go back here. But I was going to make a whole video on it and how it's the surprise. You could do it with condoms. If you pretend to put the card in the middle of the deck and then you go, oh, look, condoms, they're going to be just as surprised because it's about the surprise. Doesn't matter this clear plastic block. It could be anything, which is why there's hundreds of tricks that use random inanimate objects. Like, oh, look, the deck turned into a wooden block, okay? The deck turned into, it's stuck together. Look, it's stuck together. Okay, it's the same shit. It's the surprise of that happening that's causing that reaction. It's irrelevant. It could be done with anything. So I was going to make a video on that, but I don't know. I don't want to do it after the blog post. He beat me to it. Sorry, lady, I'm gay, says Manel. Maria says, because you never met me. So are you a man? Says Manel. I don't know. It feels like you're dirty talking in the chat. I feel a little bit disgusting reading what looks like to be your own private messages with, you know, your bitch. I don't know if that's okay to say, right? Your woman, maybe. Milady, you tip your fedora. Omni deck is the greatest thing that ever happened. It's better than Jesus. But it's the same thing with the sponge balls. As a matter of fact, let me see if I could find... Let me suck my own dick here and see if I could find the video that I made on sponge balls and show you the comments that I got. Sponge balls, PigCake. I thought the video was quite humorous, but some magicians don't tend to agree with old piggy here. I was going to say with the old pigga. Thankfully, I said it with a soft A. Let me read through the comments. Matter of fact, let me go through this. But SpongeBob is another one of those things. I get it. Yeah, people love it. Shit, it's a terrible trick. You have these things that don't exist anywhere. You definitely bought them at a magic store. You're not trying to convince people that what you're doing is real. I get that, all right? Don't have that as a straw man argument. What I'm saying is that you have this thing that it's gross. It's disgusting. It's going to collect lint. It's going to take the color of your pocket. It's nasty. So let me see if I remember reading some comments that were very against that. Oh, look, we got Sav here. That's funny. That man's, you know, a certain word. Can't tend to repeat here. Your ignorance and power of the sponge balls in creating a magic experience is obvious to all. Okay, hold up. Your ignorance of the power of sponge balls in creating a magical experience is obvious to all. I don't know what he means by that particular sentence. Your filthy jokes about glad to see me and using male emissions. Ew. I think that's even worse than what I said. I made like a cum joke, if I do recall correctly. Let me see if I could go back in my own video.
You know you have them.
Look at that, by the way. How funny is this? Look at this framing. Could you imagine I thought that this was fine? The framing of these videos. I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't want to show my face, but I'm just going to frame and just cut off my head completely. Oh, God, terrible. But I do recall having a segment where I mention certain alternatives you could use to sponge balls, and one of them is cum. So that might be what he's talking about. Look at that, Pixel 6a. Yeah, this was a long time ago. Jay Sankey's earplugs. Let me see if I could cut to this. I know that was a quite humorous bit. I am proud of my own bit here, right? Is it bad that I find myself funny? I watched myself back. Let's see.
Probably 5 minutes ago. You probably shut off about 2 minutes into this video because it wasn't a tutorial.
Facts.
For some reason, look, I show up to their little gig and they're wearing their Gucci outfit. They're wearing their Prada shoes. All right, they got that belt with the G on it that cost more than my existence. And then you see them walk up to a table and they go, hey, nice to meet you. I'm the wandering magician and I'm wondering if I could show you a magic trick. Here I have some sponge balls from the inside of my well-tailored Italian pocket. Can you do
Okay, all right. The point is I do mention good alternatives that you could use to sponge balls, and they seem to ignore that. But let me see what this guy happened to say about male emissions. That's the nastiest way. You could say that's worse than cum. Saying male emissions is worse than saying cum, I think. No, objectively. Saying it just makes it more like real. Cum is gone. It's one, just cum. That's it. Male emissions. Using male emissions are disgusting, immature, and vile. I think 9/11 was vile. Making cum jokes, I don't think that's vile. It's the famous Louis C.K. bit. So if that's vile to you, what's gonna happen when you see I don't know, a deer defecate on your offspring, right? What's gonna happen then? Are you gonna say that's vile? So now my opinion on sponge balls in your world is the same as a deer defecating on your offspring. That's what you've decided to allow because of your use of the word vile to describe my jokes about sponge balls. All right. 3, nothing more to say. So this is just the worst. 3 years ago, and I'm reading this now. I did like it though, which is funny. But I do not recall this. So he lists 3 things. Number 1, number 2, and then number 3 is nothing more to say. So then you have 2 points. You have made me really sad inside, and I only watch until the emission comment. What? Until the emission. Ugh. Yeah, baby, you ready for my emission? You ready to take my emission, baby? Okay. Number 1. But what's with people listing too, by the way? What's with people listing? They're fun to perform. They don't care what you think of them. I don't perform for you. Party on, dude. P.S. After suffering through this pointless run, I understand why you don't show your face. You fuck. I wish you would come back. Red Saber with fucking Darth Vader mask. That's at least $95. Ugh. All right. Does it work with small Ziploc bags filled with salt? Humorous. That's funny, though. But, again, some of the people tend to be a little bit, I would say, vitriolic. Vile. My opinion on sponge balls is vile. Well, it's the same thing with the Omni deck. And I was gonna make a video on that particular bit, right? But alas, maybe I might. Who knows? But I just don't want to seem like I'm ripping off this guy's blog. So if I acknowledge the blog, no, because then it's like, oh, I've already made like 3 videos on this guy's blog. I don't know. Should I? I don't know. Maybe I should leave it up to the small PigCake community. You need a bacon sandwich or a pig cake. Again, as I mentioned before, not a huge fan of cake, believe it or not. Not a huge fan. I prefer cookies. I'm a cookie fan. But cake, there's too much commitment on cake, I believe. Let's see. There's a girl in the chat. I'm going to brush my teeth. That's funny. You notice that every time there's a female doing any sort of magic trick, that all the comments are gross. Gross. Just the most, oh, my queen, oh my goodness, so much. Baby, I love this. I was like, ill, dude. Ill. Again, this is coming from this guy. You know, when I have a problem with the comments that you're making about women, that they're very disgusting. Let me see if I could find a couple. Might as well, seeing that this is a virtual show involving multiple forms of media, right? Video and audio. It's not just you looking at me. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to log in on Instagram. But I've mentioned that before as to the disgust and you know what? The vile. I'm comparing it to 9/11. The vile nature of comments in reference to female magicians or just females in general. Just come on. Nobody's going to look at your comments and go, fuck, I need to sit on his face. He said I'm beautiful. He said he loves me. He wants to see my vagine. Now I need to find him and send him my vagine. I got to find him in his village. They got that Pigsachi shirt. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Pigsachi shirt. When did I go? I went with a friend of mine to one of those stores recently. What has come to us where we're charging as a society $300 for a cotton t-shirt? What? I get it if it's like a certain type of stitching, but if it's $300 for a cotton shirt with a fucking thing on it, just like a little, what's wrong with you? My good, be better.
Be better. Be better. Be better.
Ew. Let's go back to the comments on anything Ana de Guzman has posted. Yeah. Right? And sometimes it's not even good. That's the other part, right? At least if it's good, say it's good. But it's like she does something and there's like you could see the card in the palm. You could see the coin in the hand. If it's a mouth coil, you could see her sneak it in. Like there's no good technique there. But all the comments, oh, fooled me. Great. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my God. Queen. It's like, come on. Ew. I feel gross. That's vile. See, that's vile. That's vile. Also, the amount of male emissions. Unless it's an Anna D, 25% of the comments are Flash. The other are 75 the Simps. That's true. You're right. I'm wrong. I do now recall that there are some based chads that say, yeah, dude, obviously everybody knows how you did that. And then the larger percentage of individuals that go, oh, yes, my queen. Yes. Whoa, amazing. Whoa, you blow my mind. Give me a chance, baby. Give me a chance. I did a whole video. I think I did a whole video on this. I'm trying to remember it just because of the amount of content I've put out on the internet. My goodness. Talk about content. There's so much pig content. I'm going to have a legacy of shit left on the internet. Fucking Bing. I had to type out youtube.com on fucking Bing because it doesn't have it saved because, of course, it's Bing. Let me see. Female magician's PigCake, maybe? Female. I'm sucking my own penis in this stream more than anything. Female magician's PigCake. Let me see if I have a thing. There's this one where magician does card trick while reading erotic magic literature from 2 years ago. That's a good one. I'm trying to find this one. I know that I have I do recall having a video where I go through magic comments. Maybe comments? Comments. Magician's PigCake. This also, by the way, lets me know exactly how difficult it is to look up anything regarding my fucking channel. Because I know there's a video. I know that YouTube factors each and every single word you say in a video. They take that and that becomes part of the SEOs. That becomes part of the searchability of those particular terms. So why is it so fucking difficult for me to find even my own fucking videos? So let's see. Comments, magician's PigCake. Comments, PigCake? Maybe? And I know I put the things and I put the fucking things right. Like there's no way. Here's the one I made on Ben Earl. But let me look up Simp PigCake, maybe? Simp PigCake. What is magic virginity? Nope, can't find it. Jesus. YouTube, I believe, is the #2 search algorithm. Or search platform. Jesus, search algorithm. Search platform. #2. And yet to find my own content, it's so exceptionally difficult. I have to find it, I guess, later. Cassandra the assistant. Kayla Drescher is way better. That's funny. I think I was mentioning it maybe on a previous stream that I was watching me watching you, right? Who? That's the British dude, I believe. Watching me watching you. What's his name? Somebody help me out here. Somebody from the land of the England. Partridge, Alan Partridge, which I was very disappointed to find out was not a person that is in fact a character. But I was watching Jabrizi on the Shazam podcast. I was watching me watching that before the ham radio episode where I'm watching that particular thing and commentating and arguing with Daniel because Daniel had a different take on that. And I find that funny. I found the hindsight of that being very funny as to that whole ordeal. with Jabrizi getting on that particular podcast. Smells like Ariana Grande concert in here, says Sean Devine. Actually, funnily enough, I don't know how I feel about you saying that because I do believe I put on Cloud today. Cloud is my my walking perfume. It's not really a cologne, but Cloud by Ariana Grande is my. There you go. See, I have right there on my wrist. A little bit of that Cloud. That's my my walking perfume, right? I like to not smell like shit even when I'm exercising. I like to have a little bit of that vibe. It's better, Sean. We're in the cloud. We're in the cloud. Nice. There's a very cloud-like scent to that. I imagine if you're a female and you're wearing that, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to be like, hey, yo, girl, hold on to my sponge ball. Wait, look at mine. Now open your hand. You got two of my balls in your hand. It's almost like a time machine into the future.
Bing bong.
That's very old. Bing bong, I think, is past its prime. Daniel, I think, is coming by next week, so I'm probably going to steal the little bit, right? Alan Partridge. There you go. Yes, that's what I was remembering. Knowing me, knowing you. What a tremendous guy. I believe he had a story where he was banging Madonna or banging someone. And there was some incident where he was late for some sort of endeavor that he had, maybe a movie shoot or something with Alan Partridge, or the guy that actually plays him, Steve Coolidge. And they mentioned the room smelled like cigarettes, lube, and cum. I feel like that's, a sort of life that not many could have, and not many could have for long. But alas, Steve Coolidge, or whatever his actual last name is, Coolidge, Coolin, is a man that we could only aspire to be. We can never be. We could only aspire and try to become that. Down Bad Magicians. Fuck. So would it not? Down Bad Magicians. Okay, so that's what the video was. Down Bad Magicians. Thank you for that. My goodness, Corn Pop, I appreciate that. So I looked up Down Bad Magicians, and I'm not here. And this is on incognito mode. So Down Bad Magicians, PigCake. Actually, no. Let me look up Down Bad as one word. Let me see. Maybe that. Down Bad Magicians. No. Okay. So let's look at this. Let me see if I could fucking show this. So Down Bad Magicians, right? I do remember that being the name of the video. Down Bad Magicians. Ramsey, Top 10, Zach King. Let's look up Down Bad Magicians, PigCake. How is that different? Down Bad Magicians. If I look up this, should Down Bad PigCake not be the first fucking thing? My goodness. Jesus of Nazareth. So I have to look up PigCake, and then look, now it comes up. That's great. I enjoy that thoroughly. I'm trying to remember what disgusting comments. Oh, yeah, also, I don't know what I was thinking with this weird beard connection here. Let me see at least one of these comments. Also good quality. I forgot what lens that is. That's a really good lens on I imagine to be the Canon RP. But I remember going through some of these comments, and they were disgusting. Look at what, like this. What is that? What is that? If someone asked you to kiss your foot, what will you do? What will you do? Whose was that? Let me see on whose particular comment thread was that. If I asked to kiss your foot, what would you do? On, I guess, Magical Katarina's post. What? Kind of nasty. What do you think would happen? Like, I want to know truly, what is the thought process that goes through one of these Murad Al-Kafila, whatever his fucking name is. I want to know what is the thought process that goes through him and his head as he goes, yeah, I know what I'm going to type. What will you do? So imagine, what would you do if I just grabbed you right now? What would you do? Tell me, what would you do right now? What would you do? Right? Would you fight back? Would you fight back? What? That's rapey shit. Wasn't Chris the first video that popped up? Yeah, it was. But I'm saying about this one. I was looking for this video. Comments. I looked up comments. I looked up female magicians PigCake, and nothing came up until I looked up down bad magicians PigCake. I would imagine if I put down bad magicians, which there isn't another video. So down bad magicians. There's not another video titled down bad magicians. So nobody has here, at least on YouTube, a video titled down bad magicians. But in order to find my video, I actually have to type my own fucking username on it, and then I see it. I mean, is that a little bit counterintuitive? I feel like that might be a tad bit, just a tad bit counterintuitive. Jesus, with the thumbnail game here. Talking about magic piracy. What else do I get into here? Worst trick you could purchase today. I'm just here sucking my own penis, by the way. This is essentially what the stream is. Look at the mask. Top 5 reasons why magicians are the worst. I believe and they look at this. Google also. I'm here shitting on YouTube and Google, but at the same time, they managed to automatically split this video into automatically the different chapters, the different topics. So magicians peacock, that's true. Magicians have a false sense of superiority. I realize you're not looking at this, but I'm looking at this. So I had to type in, this is what I meant, right? I had to type in down bad magicians and nothing comes up. But then literally only when I type my own name, that's when the fucking video comes up that I was looking for fucking 15 minutes now. But I'm here sucking my own dick, looking at my my thumbnail game here. And this video, by the way, this was an L. This was a massive L, I believe. I made a video, and it was on this performance. My goodness, fuck. There's a lot going on with this. But I did a video on this, which if you look up worst magician, this guy comes up. And I did it under the impression that it was an act, right? Like he was pretending to be bad at magic. But then I've gotten this guy that mentioned, hey, I actually worked with him, and no, it's not an act. That's how he is. And then somebody else mentioned that as well. They sent me an email saying, no, this dude is really that awkward. So my guess in this video, or my hypothesis, is that this was a whole bit, that he was pretending to be a bad magician, and he did a great job at it, and he fooled all of us, and you're an idiot for believing that this was real. Well, guess who has the cream pie on his face? This guy right here has the cream pie in his face. So but look at that. I kept it up. I was wrong. I kept it up. But that's fucking annoying. I hate that the YouTube search bullshit. But if I look up, there's no other video on YouTube called Down Bad Magicians. If I look it up, hypothetically, those series of words put together should make me find that video. I shouldn't have to put PigCake in order for that video to come up. Fuck. Sunny UK weather is better than a fish's wet bit, right? Nos Anthony. I don't know what that was, but okay. The cream of the crop, says Manel. Let me go through these comments. I'm sorry, I skipped a couple in my rant. Ramsey rules the algorithm. Yes, probably an 80-year-old. That's what I meant to say. That's where the down boys go. YouTube search is the worst. It gives you less than 10 results that are related, and then it gives you recommended for you. Yeah, I did notice that they say, here are potential videos that you're looking for. And then they go, here are some videos that, well, you might be interested in. That's not what I looked for, YouTube. That's not what I looked for. Here's another video where I'm talking about card clips being useless, right? Card clips suck. Silk magicians need to stop. Let me see if I got a comment here. I usually like to, unfortunately, as a human being, right, you tend to ignore the good, positive comments, and you just focus on the ones that are aggressively bad. Let me see. I don't think anybody shat on this video that's, in fact, a silk magician. This one's great. This guy says, in 2020, you don't say gay when it's not about putting dicks in other dicks. That's not politically correct. That's funny. Travis says, literally saw some random dude in a park swinging around the silk. That's odd. But actually nobody had anything to say against silk magic, so I'm actually surprised. But sponge balls, no, my friends, you can't go and say anything against sponge balls or Omni decks without magicians just getting up in their arms, in their disgusting pipe arms, rather, against it. Put it in quotes, and then it will show up. $5. Let's see. You're probably right. I mean, if they have the same Google thing, or the same sort of bits that Google does, but that's fucking annoying. So even if I put the term, that's the exact title of the video. Yeah, in quotes it works. Down bad magicians. I guess it was looking up down, then bad, and then magicians, and then it shows whatever's hot, and I guess Ramsey's hot on the algorithm. But you would assume if the title is Down Bad Magicians, and I'm searching Down Bad Magicians, that the first video would pop up is Down Bad Magicians. Fuck. I feel Canadian, fuck. So yeah, so that's dumb. But you're right, yeah, you won $5. Magic Orthodoxy. Yeah, you totally got cream pie on that one. Yeah, annoying. I really again, I battle the idea. Oh, PigCake is it's an excuse to say that your channel has some sort of thing, a hex on it. But certain things reinforce it. Certain little things, searching for the channel, looking for specific things, it's hard to find. Notifications not going up, kind of shitty, right? I don't understand any other reason why, if you put notifications on, that you're not getting a notification. Doesn't make sense. That deserves a car crash, by the way. Anytime I flub on a word, that's a car crash. The next video is going to be called Down Bad Magicians. Nice. Okay. That would be great for you to talk about Down Bad Magicians, and you go through comments in regards to magicians that are thirst trapping, that are trying to get them female magicians. That's just so weird. I just don't understand. What are you going to do if I just kiss your foot? Oh, God. And that was just one example. Randomly clicked in the video. That's just one example. I went through a bunch of examples in that video. Disgusting. And it's even worse. You think, again, right? Unfortunately, we're fucking narrow-sighted, right? As magicians, we only see through the spectrum, obviously, of the spectrum. But through the through the scope of magic, right? But you get into other things and you realize, whoa, this is even worse for singers, for musicians, right? For people into cars. Imagine if you're a car girl, like you're a girl that your channel is dedicated to cars and you happen to have a vagina. Awful. Terrible. Because just the comments are just going to, oh, what's up, my queen? Oh, as if she's going to go, yep, I'm going to just Tokyo drift into your fucking garage and jump on you. Maybe if you participate in some anti-morality, the algorithm would be more merciful to you, says Manel. I'm quoting you. I'm a huge fan. As I've mentioned before, I'm a member of that thought first of all, it's not an organization. It's a thought. It's a idea, okay? So that's your first mistake, Manel. And you should have that mentality because what are you, pro? Are you pro-fa? Huh? I see how you are. Okay, I'm on to you. Right? You and your whatever belief that you have, I'm on to you. All right? I'm better than you. You got to have that progressive state of mind, and I'm better than you. You need to know that. I'm 54, so I don't know what down bad means. Well, down bad is a young person term. Mind you, younger than my demo, but it's a young person term for you are essentially trying too hard to get at a woman, right? To have a run at her, as Norm Macdonald would say. So down bad, right? You leave comments that are just grotesquely positive, even if the material might be mediocre, right? I'm trying to think of other good examples of down bad. The other term is simp. You're a simp, right? You are simping for a female. So you are trying to get her attention, either financially, right? You throw some bucks at her, the hope that somehow she notices you. Different things count as that, right? And it's very prevalent in the magic scene, but it's very prevalent elsewhere. It's also prevalent elsewhere, rather. Hey, what happened with PewDiePie and Martha? She got through YouTube comments. She got him with YouTube comments first. Could you imagine? Talk about hitting the lottery, right? Talk about hitting the lottery. You comment on a dude that you likes videos, and then eventually you get married, and now you're both multimillionaires because you are the #1 YouTuber on the platform. Goddamn. Let's see. I do, but I privated it because I was covering the war and Russians kept harassing. I don't know what you're talking about there. You're limiting yourself. You could read Spanish. You could do the same video, but looking at the Spanish-speaking part of the community. That is funny. Could you imagine PigCake Español? Hola, amigos. Welcome al canal de PigCake. Me gusta pinga. Tú eres cara de pinga. Tú tienes una cara como mi pinga. Let's see if the translation on that. I think most of the online... hold up. I think most of the internet... Look at this posture. Look at this fucking posture that I have to read this. My goodness. I think most of the internet creeper problems... Now I feel like Matthew Furman. Doing this... or what's the hot ones? That's a hot one. That guy. I think most of the internet creeper problems is under 25. We should ban them from the internet. They should be climbing trees. We should be like England and have a license for the internet. You need to be able to earn your keep and earn your use of the internet, I believe. PigCake Gigante. Actually, well, that would be Sábado Gigante, which would be on Sábado, which is Saturday. Hoy es domingo. Come mierda. Tú no sabes nada. Don't laugh. There was a big thread about needing more Spanish-speaking magic tutorials. Hey, look at that. Maybe I could accomplish that niche and talk about some card tricks in Spanish. It would be awful. My Spanish is pretty terrible, so I don't even know how I would do that. Oh, tú necesitas levantar dos cartas en vez de dos. Pinga, right? It's PigCake, so it'll have to have some reference. Pinga is a very grotesque way of saying. It's a vile way, as people would leave comments mentioning, of saying penis. And I would say a Cuban slang, maybe Dominican also. I don't know if Puerto Ricans use pinga, but we use pinga. Mira, papo, no debes hablar pinga en directos. I think you added a little bit of Portuguese there, but we don't use that word, right? Also, we don't say the color black in Spanish. We don't say the color black in Spanish because we've been told that's a bad word. Also, we don't like using the word A and O at the end of words because we've been told that's not inclusive by white non-Spanish speakers. Cojones. ¿Dónde está la mota? Porque quiero fumar alguna. Is mota another term for marijuana cigarette? Or use Albert, which is your real name. Oh, crap. Was that a secret? I'm pretty sure I've directly stated. I do recall a ham radio while I was talking with Daniel. And then I was quoting someone talking about me. And I just mentioned my own name. And then on a previous stream here, I connected my AirPods. And it's right there. It's like, oh, hey, look at his fucking AirPods. That's or what do you call this? Also, other channels that have, alluded vague references to my name, which I like to keep out of the channel for fear of going higher up on the FBI watch list. Hint, hint. Do Spanish content with English subtitles. That'd be kind of funny. I did do a video with Daniel in Spanish. I did one. This was before I showed my face. We did it at a park, and I believe we also did a giveaway. So now I have to look that up, which is going to be equally as fucking challenging. Maybe give away PigCake. And then I remember speaking, no, nothing's coming up. Fuck. A B giveaway. Is it this one? Gaffs, gimmicks, and giveaways? No. I was still hiding my face. That's what I remember about the video. But I do recall having a video where I'm speaking Spanish, which, again, terrible Spanish. My Spanish is the absolute worst when it comes to anything. But at least it's passable. Here's another one. Giveaway tutorial blog. Look at that, man. Wow, we used to do some fun stuff when I was handicapped. When I literally could not move. But no, I can't find that video in particular. But I do recall doing one in a park, which was quite humorous because I'm a grown man. And yeah, PigCake, grown man. No, yeah, bigger than the kids there, and I'm doing a stupid video. Kelly MF Hill says, thanks for teaching me a lot. Hey, man, thank you for learning a lot. my dude. You can't be a teacher without students. Just like you can't be a raging pedophile without. All right, I'll stop myself. I'm making a terrible joke. You get what I mean, but I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. He already revealed his full name and birth date. It doesn't matter. I don't know his name. I was joking, people. Yes, you do. Don't pretend like you don't know it. Or I guess that maybe you're doing a bit because you don't want to know my name because then you don't want to be on the FBI watch list, which is a good thing. Again, you definitely don't want to be on my side of the list. Although I do know that you could look up your FBI stuff. So you could look up whatever information the FBI has on you. So I might just do that. I don't know if it's like the freedom of information or whatever the fuck it is, but I know you could look up whatever they have on you. It just takes time. So maybe I should get that going and then talk about it on a stream because I do feel like there might be stuff, right? You never know, right? Maybe whatever threshold they have. Let's see. Wouldn't it be interesting if Piggy became really popular with Spanish tutorials? I've seen Spanish tutorials before. I've seen them, but it's the same as these tutorials. I imagine they're popular in a niche, right? There is some mass appeal, obviously, as people like Spidey, as Lloyd Barnes has proven, but I think it's hard for me to get there. My compromise to this style is really a detriment to my ability to become popular. So unfortunately, alas, my friends, this is what I remember having this conversation with Daniel many, many years ago. We're talking, unfortunately, about the difference between having an artist perspective, and, doing what you need to do in order to get what you want. And, certain people, even if they might do things that they don't necessarily believe in, it works better. Whereas someone like me that unfortunately I don't want to compromise. I don't want to do anything that's going to be I don't want to have to pretend, right? I just want to do it the way I want to do it. And unfortunately that has its limits. Just watch out for the CIA. Or see what you could have done there is you said, oh, you should watch out for the FBI. And by FBI, I mean female booty inspector. I remember during a dance that I chaperoned when I worked as a teacher, a kid wore as a costume of FBI outfit. And then if you looked, it said, I'm a female booty inspector. This was a sixth grader. Juan Tamariz, Woody Aragon, PigCake. Well, it is PigCake Rodriguez, right? It is PigCake Rodriguez, so I do have a little bit of that Spanish in me. And by Spanish in me, I mean an elder Spanish man penetrating me. That's the stream, my friends. I think that's a good note to end on. Thank you guys for watching. I might not do these as often. I don't think I'm going to go through doing the entire month on a stream. I don't think it's going to help in any way. But I think I will do more streams throughout the week. So I do believe that I will, instead of doing one PigCast, I might maybe do 2 or 3. So I feel like that might be a good compromise. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe in the middle of the week, or spread it out. But I think 7 or 30 fucking times in a month might be a little bit overkill, especially on this platform, especially with this content, right? Especially with this content. But it was a fun little thing to try for the week. You do have a lot of PigCake content there, some funny bits, some byplay. But I believe the next one, I might consider doing it tomorrow. We'll find out. But if that's going to be the case, 4 p.m. Eastern time, that's the time that I do these. Of course, Eastern time, the best time, right? Wednesday, I'll do it at 11 a.m. But I might do it tomorrow. We'll find out. But some advice at the end of the video. I always like giving a little bit of advice. Let me see if I could find something that might be relevant. Maybe yesterday. Driving. Driving, right? So I don't drive. I mentioned this earlier on in the stream. I don't drive. I have a motorcycle. Usually people because I'm the last resort, right? And the times that I've driven people, I don't have practice with a car, right? So I found that if you are someone that is not good at driving, right? I find that what helped me was you want to make sure that you're not hitting all the little fucking reflectors on the street, right? So on a motorcycle, I know it's obvious to people that drive every single day with their car, but not me, right? I ride a motorcycle, but when you see the little things and you hear it, maybe you should veer off to the lane. And the worst part is that I've been in vehicles with people that have been driving for years, cars, and they just ride on it like normal. Mostly females that do this, but you want to keep conscious of that, right? Especially when it comes to the edge. I say this, but I know a couple different people that don't know that on the right side of the little white line that separates the actual border of the lane, it's rough. So that if your car goes over that, you feel it. You feel it being rough. It lets you know, hey, move to the fucking middle of the lane. What are you doing, stupid? It's there on purpose. It's very good design, I would say. Believe it or not, streets, roads, very good design, especially with the reflective nature. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to stick in that, right? And also Nancy Pelosi is doing insider trading. That's the other one. That's the other very important thing.